ladies and gentlemen, how you doing today? My name is Billify, and today we are here to counter a glove. Which glove might that be? Why, of course it's the pan glove. And these are going to be the awesome goobers that are going to be joining us to figure out what counters this brand new pan glove. We've got Bio, Kryptonol, Foxxy Boy, Ivan, Show, and MewTwo. I appreciate all of you. Let's get into this. Since a pan user only has the base slap, anything with distance is going to be ideal. With extended, you can always keep them at a reached distance. You see what I did there? Because the ability's reach? No? Alright, we're moving on. If you set a Thanos waypoint before you get hit, and you do get hit, this can save you, but not from the golden pan. Magnet can be good to sneak up on them and hit them, but if they're staring directly at you and swinging while you use Magnet, it's not gonna save you. So I'm not really gonna fully recommend it. Golden's gonna be the first glove that will fully protect you, but you have to have everything activated before you get slapped. Alright, yep, while you're in gold, you can't be slapped by pan, nothing. You are perfectly safe to go and fight them and do whatever. But if you've already been smacked, this isn't gonna save you. What kind of reduced knockback do you take with Cheeky? You don't really go that far with Cheeky, so this could be a good option if you kind of just want to meme around, but you're not going to be able to fight that much, so Cheeky's not going to be a top counter. This is just going to be something that you can use to be safe. You don't really have to worry about being hit. The only time you'd have to worry is that 1 in 10 chance of a golden pan happening. Like that! So defense can definitely work here. If you want to stay safe, you could just pop defense and just sit in the middle here, and you're not going to get hit. The only problem would be if there's like multiple pan users, then you have a good chance of being hit. But in most scenarios, there's only going to be one that's chasing you, so all you'd have to do is just stay to the opposite side of the one that's trying to get you. So what happens with reverse? If you have reverse active and they get to slapping, then they get the pan themselves. So reverse is absolutely great. This will save you from that first slap. But if you've already been slapped, it's not going to save you from that second bonk. Shukuchi's good if they're chasing you down, just hit them with the animation. If you are being chased down, of course, you can just go into the animation, and you're perfectly fine. But if you're in midair, you cannot use Shukuchi. So yeah, you could definitely catch them in an animation and they won't be able to even slap you, but you can be camped at the end of it, so be wary of that. You could definitely use Woah here. If they're chasing you down, all you'd have to do is just use your shockwave and they can't even touch you. So if they got the glove, all you'd have to do is just push them back and then go back to fighting, however you'd want to do it. And then once you're in a spot where you think you're good enough to fight, you can sit there and you can use the shockwave again. So you could definitely use Woah in that sense to just keep distance. Adios will save you, but not from the golden pan, so not a top counter. Blocked is going to be good here. Carl will be using buddies in this scenario. If there's only one pan that you're going for, you're perfectly fine to trade, but as soon as you do trade with them, they can't hit you back. So you can just sit there and play bully ball with them the entire time, and you're perfectly good to go. So the only thing that you would ever have to worry about is multiple pans. And if there's multiple pans, then yeah, definitely use buddies, because they will not be able to hit you. Granted, you won't be able to hit them, but at least you're safe. If they're chasing you down, of course, you could throw a boulder at them, but there's better. Coil is amazing. If they're chasing you down, you can always hit them at a distance and not even let them be close to you. So W for Coil here. Track, Tableflip, Ping Pong, and Slicer are all going to be deterrents. You can classify them as counters if you want to, but I like these more as deterrents because they're not really going to save you. They're just pure offense, and when a pan user gets hit by them over and over and over again, it's really going to deter them from going back after you with the same pan glove. The shield glove is going to take a W here. Since they just have the base slap, the first time that they try to slap you, you're perfectly fine, but you're not fine for the second slap. This is great, but not a top counter. You can use HomeRun in this scenario because they have to get close to you to slap, but it's just like counter. If you get baited out, then you're left out to hang dry and you're gonna get hit. So don't miss. You could use Whirlwind to slap them and not get slapped back, but you're relying only on your Whirlwind, so not the best. Thor can definitely help you if they're chasing you down, so if you do see them, you can use your animation, hit them back, and they're slowed down trying to chase you down, and by the time that they are free, you're about halfway done with Volt, so you can go back to slapping, whatever you might need to do. Once it gets down to another dire situation, just keep using Thor, keep pushing them back, and you're good to go. Parry can work here if you time it out well. All you'd have to do is just wait for them to slap, and you can parry them that way. Or if they're getting too close to you, you could always use your jump dash to get into a new location. So Parry's gonna take a W here. Jebaited's gonna be another good one. This will not save you if you're in midair, so that's not gonna work. But if you are in your illusion and then you get slapped, they get the hand, which is perfect. Oven can actually be super useful here. As long as you're hovering your oven, you're fine. You can stay right next to it and not ever have to worry about a pan user because they just cannot get close enough to you. Unless they come up from behind when you're not looking. But by the time that they're out of that said oven, you already have another oven that you can place down. So as long as you're hovering your oven, you're perfectly fine all the time. Guardian Angel will save your friend from everything but the golden pan. You could use the Ferryman dash to avoid a trade-off, but a trade-off is still possible. So when they're fighting, you can use your dash to hit them. But if they are getting close, you can get up on top of your Ferryman ore and then dash away. That can work. Ferryman is a very good option here for you. Blackhole can definitely work. Having that Blackhole user chase you down, all you'd have to do is just cast out a Blackhole, and then they can't do anything to you. So you could drag them off the side of the edge if you wanted to. It is your choice on a whim what you'd like to do with Blackhole. All the one-shots are great in a slap fight. You should win that, unless they hit the golden pan on you, or unless you're near an edge. But God's Hand's gonna work here to stop time and slap them when they're not looking. Once they're paused, you could easily walk up to any single one of them, smack them up, you're good to go. So yeah, all one-shots are ideal. God's Hand, the Flex, Air, and Overkill. Ultra Instinct does work here for a 50% dodge rate. Titan should be good here. If you are in Titan form, you cannot have a pan smacked on you. The only thing that they can do is just lower the amount of time that you have with your Titan. Definitely get to stomping whatever you might need to do to keep them away and not let them even close to you. By the time they get back close to you again, just keep sending them back. You can definitely surprise them with a bus since they don't have any ability to dodge. Phase will save you from the initial slap, but if you've already been slapped, you can't activate Phase. Yep, you have to be on the ground and waiting, but Phase will indeed help you if they are trying to slap you while you're in permeable mode. You just can't be hit in that. Only when you get out of it is when you can be hit. The Bomb, Bubble, Jet, Shard, and Bob Gloves are all deterrents, which can be classified as counters, but it's just like the gloves down there. I like to call these deterrents because if you can land the bomb perfectly each time, they'll never get close to you. If you're really good at landing the bubble, you will always send them off the map. If you're alive for long enough, the Jet will easily smack them off the side of the map. Shard is amazing because if you hit them, you get a slap with the ability and you get to slow them down. And you get your ability fast. And Bob either forces them to go remove Bob or fight in a certain aspect to where you can beat them up using Bob. So great deterrent gloves, can be classified as counters, but I love them more as deterrents. Jupiter's just like Cheeky. This should be good in this scenario, but better than Cheeky. Once you do get hit here, you're not going that far. Look how far you just went. You don't go that far at all. This will be a great glove that you could use to fight and not have to worry about your location. The only thing you would have to worry about here is a golden pan. Same thing with Hybrid with the yellow mode, that Jupiter mode, that is the exact same, and you don't even have to have the glove out, and you have 3 other abilities that you could use. So huge W for Hybrid as well. Slapple is amazing here. If one of them is coming near you, just go up into a tree. Guess what? You can't be hit by them at all unless they start stacking on each other's heads. But yeah, you're perfectly safe here. Nothing is gonna happen to you. They would have to have teamwork, and you could just keep going up in trees as many times as you'd like, and they would never, ever, ever be able to hit you. Huge W for Slapple here. What happens with Rattlebones? I can tell you right now, you're perfectly safe because they have a base slap. That's their only maneuver. So you could easily walk up to them with Lariat and hit them. But if you do have a Lariat up and you do get slapped, it will turn them into a red Larry. You can catch them off guard with Charge, but I like better options than Charge. Glitch is a huge deterrent here, and can also be considered a counter, but I love this more as a deterrent, because every time they get close to you, they're chasing you down, just send them up into a glitch. Ooh, it drug that glitch into me. That was odd. Usually that doesn't happen, so you don't have to worry about that, but it's a huge deterrent, so definitely when you're doing it, back up. Yeah, back up when you're doing it. Elude will work here 100% of the time, just don't get a bad teleport. When they go to slap you, nothing happens. Keep doing you, and you're perfectly fine with Elude. Fish is awesome here. The only thing you'd have to worry about is a golden pan hit. You're going to want to use it after you get hit by the second pan. So right here is when you would want to use it, and you're perfectly fine with Fish. So if you're flying off the edge, lop right back on, and you're good to go. You could easily meme with Moai and kind of sit around it, but there's better options. The Voodoo combos work. If you slap somebody with Voodoo, the person with pan can walk over and slap the clone, and it will give them the pan effect. My clone's over there, and I get slapped with the pan. So Voodoo works. If you manage to leash one of them, you fully nerf them, so Leash is a very good option here, but it's a base slap, so I'm not gonna say it's a super counter. Kinetic can work here. When you do get hit, wait for the, oh, you're not safe from the golden pan. I was gonna say that, but at least it showed it. Wait for the second pan hit, then use your ability, and it'll save you wherever you use it. So Kinetic can work here. Just watch for the cooldown because it is a large cooldown. Sparky can work here. It's not gonna save you if you get hit, but it'll be easier to hit them with your speed. Boogie's gonna get a top counter here because you have the ability to take away their glove and make them dance while doing it. I mean, what more can you ask for? You wanna hit me with a pan? You cannot! You cannot! You must boogie till you die! Recall can save you if you're flying off the edge. It just won't save you from a golden pan. If you land the first hit, Cycle can be good, but at the same time, it doesn't have any special abilities against the pan user, so this is just kind of mid. Kraken is amazing. You can keep them at a distance to where they can't even give you the pan hit. Counters just like HomeRun. It's amazing if you land it, but don't get baited out or you're left out to dry. Rob is great, but I don't think it saves if you've already been hit. You could use it in midair, but it's not going to do anything for you. But if you are being chased down, you could obviously just go into this form here and not even have to worry about getting slapped, and you can do the chasing down. If you go into a Rojo animation, you can't be slapped by Pan, but if you miss your shot and they're hovering around you, they're going to slap you when you get out of it. So it could be good, just watch your surroundings. If you have the Hitman guns, they can never hit you at all. You can always keep them distanced from you, especially if you have the golden gun. Same thing with Retro. All 3 abilities will help you stay away from them, and they won't even be able to touch you. So if they're at a distance, you could easily fire rockets at them from way far away. If they are chasing you down, you could always use the bomb to escape, or if they are getting close to you, you could always use the ban hammer and keep them away from you. You don't ever have to get that close to a Pan user. So Retro's huge here. Null can be good against them, but there's also a funny thing that happens with Null. If you place it down and then smack them immediately, it spawns Tensils. Dude, look at that. There was 3 or 4 golden pans right there. Crazy. But yeah, if there's just a solo pan and you don't spawn it directly on them, this could work because it'll either make them run away or have to fight the minions in a certain manner. So Null can be good. Of course, you're going to be 100% safe with Alchemist. Just get yourself the Invincible Potion and you're good to go. All you need to do is collect an Elderwood, which is right here, and a mushroom right here. Put down the cauldron, and all it takes is 2 mushrooms and 1 Elderwood. Put that together, hit the handle, and you got yourself an Invincible Potion. And now if they try to hit you, they can't. Not until you take your glove out, or until the timer runs out for that potion that you just made. So, in the meantime of them trying to hit you, of course, go make some more potions. Druid's another awesome glove that you can use because you can stay safe 100% of the time if you use this correctly. So we have our Pan users. If we just throw Druid on them, we can go back to fighting whoever you need to, and by the time that they are free and out and ready to come down and chase you again, you're already halfway with your vines, so you can continue fighting, and then once they get too close, just throw out the vines again. Druid is awesome in that fashion. Scythe is going to be a gold tier counter. If they're chasing you down, just throw this, and they can't even get close to you, and you can just hang them off the edge once it's done. But even if you miss and they're still chasing you down, guess what? Your cleave is back already. So huge W for Scythe itself. Santa can be good, but it's not anything too special. If they're close to you and they're going to slap you, you can obviously double jump like that and get into those frames and be safe, and you have a moment where you can slap them. You could throw the plushes at them, whatever it might be. And another great one that you could do is throw the milk and sleep them and walk away. Whatever you might need to do, Santa can actually be very good here. And then once they're close, again, you can go into that pan and they're not going to be able to slap you. By the time you're out, you can slap them first. I directly lied to you when I said Santa wasn't going to be anything special. It definitely was. It definitely gets the gold. And ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for our counters for the Pan Glove. This glove is just a base slap, so anything with range, very good. Thank you to everybody that you see on your screen now. We had Ivan, Bio, Andrew, Foxxy Boy, MewTwo, Show, and Kryptonol. Shout out to all of you. Carl was here, they had to go. Shout out to him as well. But what glove was your favorite counter? I think Retro might be my favorite counter for this because I know I'm safe the entire way. Which counter surprised you the most? After yesterday, I thought Reverse was going to fold again, but it surprised me and was back to normal. So I like Reverse there. But let me know your choices in the comment section below. Other than that, I hope that every single one of you have an amazing rest of your day or night whenever you do end up watching this, and we'll see you in the next one. Later!